Welcome back to Fundamentals. Tonight we'll talk Alien Romulus, geeking on gaming, Dragon Con, and much, much more.
All right, Deontay, I see you over there turning up.
It feels good to be back.
We missed you on the last one, man. It's good to have you back.
I missed you guys, man. It was just quiet and lonely in my house.
We felt it over here. We felt your absence is definitely gone. It's good to have the three amigos back.
Absolutely.
So last week talked a lot about D23, and there was so much we got from D23. But there's a couple of things that were trending pretty hot and heavy right now, and a couple of things that I'm dying to keep talking about. We can't talk enough about, but we've had a lot more of trailer footage breakdown, and plus a couple of these things we know that Deontay loves as well, and we want to talk about them with him as well. So let's jump into Thunderbolts. So Thunderbolts, we got a lot of footage from it that's kind of leaked out, but not officially. And man, I don't know if y'all seen Bucky's new haircut. But let's flip these clips here. All right, so yeah, Bucky's actually a congressman in the top left. His hair don't look too bad there, but in the bottom right, it's like hanging down and kind of messy. Like, oh my god, yeah, it don't look good to me at all. And then when we get Yelena, who gets a different haircut.
Mm-hmm.
She pulls off every haircut just fine. But I don't know, man. I liked it when they gave Bucky the haircut in Falcon Winter Soldier. I feel like that's when his character looked best. What's crazy is like they have him as a congressman, but then also with this haircut as a congressman.
It's politics.
Yeah, very interesting politics.
so seeing everybody, I don't know. Nothing about them to me is like too just like outstandish. I'm like, oh my god, that their costume looks great or whatever. We have U.S. agent shows a scene with him where he's got a kid and he's actually his kid's like beside him and he's like flipping through media where it's just talking about him losing his way and he's like the fallen Captain America. Bucky's a congressman. We get Yelena, who actually goes to Alexi's, the Red Guardian's apartment, and like his apartment's trashed, and it looks like he's like not doing good mentally at all. And she's talking about how like she thought covering herself up with work would fill in this like hole she's got missing, but it's not working, and she just feels like she has zero purpose in life. And I think that's pretty much the gist of what we get. Besides them also going, three different of them was going to find Sentry. And I think like they all three are not on the same team at the moment, and I think they fight against each other for Sentry. That's about all we get on that clip. But yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this misfit team up, but I don't know, man. I guess it's probably awful, but the thing that bothers me the most out of all this is just Bucky's hair.
Yeah,
but we did get to see that they do have the Avengers Tower. Which was
really?
Yeah. So so if you pull up that picture again, the bottom right picture, that's the Avengers Tower. The glass pane right there. So we do get to see that Val, who is the head person of like the Oaks. I don't know how they like pronounce it or do whatever yet, but she's the leader of it. She bought Avengers Tower, so we get to see that, and she's kind of building that anti-Avengers, which is the cast that we get to see. We did get to see Sentry in this trailer, as well as the symbol of him, which leads people to believe that it's a nanotech
suit.
Yeah. So it's kind of be like Iron Man, like where he puts it on and he presses it and it goes into a full suit. The guy that plays Sentry is Lewis Pullman, who actually did play Bob, who is the guy that plays Sentry in Top Gun Maverick.
It's the second Bob he's played.
Yes, this is the second Bob that he is playing. But he's like good as Sentry, but he also has like that void as like that darkness. Right. So we aren't really sure yet if he becomes like that good or bad yet. And what's going to become of that. But I also did see that the like plot was leaked a little bit. So it's just that the OXE chases down like all of these people to find Bob and try to kill him.
Right. Good luck with that. But
yeah. But like what we did also get to see in the opening part where you get to see the Marvel Studios and it kind of goes up like a curtain, which was actually cool. You also get to hear the Where Is My Mind by the Pixies playing in the background, and it's so good. Like
that makes sense with the Where's My Mind because he struggles with mental illness and drug addiction.
And that's why I think it's so good because of like just that dark undertones of it. It's
out of all of this that you just said, like I've heard everything about that except the Avengers Tower thing. Like this is new to me. Like I don't know how I've not came across this, but
it's when I'm wearing my Stark shirt.
Yeah. Oh my God. I can't believe that that's who bought Avengers Tower. Like out of all the people that we assumed or we thought, because like I mean, there's so many people. Like in a couple of our videos ago, we had somebody in the comments that was like, "Oh, y'all should know who bought Avengers Tower. It's the Fantastic Four because they led up to that on the Spider-Man movie." And that was kind of like a clue, but we didn't know exactly if that's what that meant. I think that was just saying the Fantastic Four movie is coming soon, not that they actually bought the building.
Right.
But, holy crap. Like,
there was also like
I'm so happy to hear this.
I don't know if it's like fan like artwork or whatever, but the A they made it into a vowel.
Really?
In like blue. Yeah, so it looked really cool and funny and like just weird. So just had to throw that in there.
I'm gonna have to watch this trailer after this show because I haven't seen anything on this besides what y'all told me.
Okay, well, like the Daredevil one, I've watched the full trailer leaked footage, but I've actually just seen still shots of the Thunderbolt one and like written descriptions. I've not actually seen the leaked footage. So
all right, I'll have to send that into the chat then.
Please. Like
I still haven't
so
seen
happy
the Daredevil
right now.
one either. Yeah.
Oh man, dude, the Daredevil one's so good.
I need to see both of them.
So you ready to talk about some Daredevil now?
Yeah, let's pull up Daredevil. So like Daredevil, we actually get the main villain's going to be Muse in this, which is a prolific serial killer who's an artist that's struggling. And in the comics, he's been known to actually take blood from 100 different victims to do artwork on the walls or whatever in the city. I mean, he's like pretty bad. I mean, bad. Like, and so we actually get a visual film in this leaked trailer, and it's like super comic accurate. Like that. That's spot on the comic character right there. And like, I'm not gonna lie, he just looks dark and sinister. I mean, like bad.
Again, it's gonna be a treasure.
Yeah, and we get to see like some of his artwork in the trailer where he does like artwork of Kingpin like up on the wall, and part of it's like all white and clean with him, and then the other half it says King, and the other half says Pin. It's more of a darker, broodier artwork. The artwork looks sick. Like I'm not even gonna lie. And we see actually where Matt's talking with Kingpin like in a diner, and he talks. It seems like they're gonna have to like I think maybe team up against this guy together for like just a short time, and then because he tells him he's like, if you get out of line, I'm gonna make sure I'll put you right back in it. And so like I think they're going to like unwillingly have to work together for a small time, but we all know that's not going to last. We get to see Karen and Foggy, Deborah Ann Wall, Eldon, both come back, reprise their roles. John Bernthal, thank God, is coming back as Punisher. And on IMDb, it's showing that he's in all 18 episodes, I'm sorry, not all 18, but all episodes. Yeah.
I read that recently they said that it's only going to actually be 12 episodes. Like I saw that it got confirmed. So
I wish it was 18 like they originally planned, but
for real, like give us all the Daredevil episodes you feel like we deserve.
But at least it's not like some of these others that's been like 6, 8, and 10. This is on the high. This is on the higher end. So
yes,
but look, make these at least 45 minutes long minimum. Like they don't need to be no shorter than that.
Exactly.
But we get
content. I'm happy with that.
Ben Poindexter, Bullseye from the original Netflix series. He's coming back reprising his role. We get to see him. He's like in jail actually, and so I'm assuming this obviously takes place after his surgery. How that I'm sure we'll get to see all that hopefully because that's pretty much how his character ended on the Netflix series, and we kind of see that Bullseye like almost like a robotic in his eye. So I don't know. It looks so good though. It has very much that dark, gritty tone that the Netflix series gave us. And Vincent D'Onofrio actually said that there's some things in this that was filmed that's even darker than we even seen in the Netflix, that he was shocked that they actually left in the scenes. So I don't know how much more darker you can get by slamming a guy's head into with the car door until it's beat to death. But
Yeah.
he says there's some darker stuff than that, and he was shocked that it didn't get cut and it's still in there.
We're here for it.
Daredevil is going to be like elite storytelling for all of us. And
Oh my god,
the Netflix wasn't that for an adult TV series that was based on a
Mhm.
Marvel superhero. Netflix did not get shy with it. Like
No.
there's been moments where like Matt Murdock and Elektra are going to get it on, and they'll show it. It is just like, damn, like you guys pull no punches. It's just like, I kind of like that there's adult characters cussing and swearing, bloody violence.
Mhm.
It brings you to reality when they do that with these TV shows.
For sure. Only thing about like season 3, like I loved episodes or season 3 of Daredevil, but I hated that he was not in his outfit that whole entire season. I'm like, and then
Man.
that's what we thought that was it. We thought that's how it was ending, until here of recent, and I don't know. But also in the trailer, we get to see 5 different Daredevil helmets. He's got them lined up on. We get the one from She-Hulk. We get a silverish color one. We get a black one. We get the red one he wore from the Netflix series, and then there's the newer 3. Like it's so much more layered and detailed than any of the others that's red that he'll be wearing throughout pretty much most of this season, from what I've read. But I'd love to see him wear like that silver or that black one with the red eyes. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just maybe in one episode, like maybe start off like that, and something happened to it, and he's got to jump into the red one. But I think it'd be so cool if we got to see at least 2 outfits in the season.
I would never fight a guy in a suit like that in the alleyway. I'm cool. I am cool on that. He beat the shit out of me. Nope, I'm not breaking the law in front of you. Sorry, sir.
What is pretty cool is in this we get to see him using his sticks, and like we get to see a lot more of the cable action with the sticks, like from the comics, than what we actually got to see in the Netflix series. So that's pretty cool. Like I'm anxious to see their like choreography and their special effects when using that.
Has there been like any comics where like the Punisher ever wears like a mask?
I think the Punisher, if I'm not mistaken, the Punisher, the only thing closest to a mask that he wore was there was the Punisher version of War Machine. And like he took like an Iron Man suit that was Punisher style, and that was about it. And that was that helmet, and that was pretty sick because it had the skull painted on the Iron Man helmet.
Nice.
So,
yeah. With Frank Castle, he walks around with his face exposed as fuck. It's just like, hey, I want you to know it was fucking me. Like, damn, you're not even gonna like protect the rest of your family and friends or whatever with your identity, and you just like, nah, fuck that. I'll protect them while I'm alive right now.
I'll protect them by murdering you.
Because I thought it would be pretty cool, like if like Daredevil was like, all right, well, I'm kind of building a squad, which is why he has these other helmets, and like other people are wearing his like Daredevil mask. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I thought of like the black one for Punisher, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, they're pretty. They stuck to the comic accurate Punisher suit, and they got a comic accurate Bullseye suit that they have still shots of him wearing, and I'm like,
Yep.
So good.
Oh yeah, and the same woman that played Vanessa, she's reprising her role as Vanessa as well, because it shows them sitting at a table. And it actually shows him sitting at a table, I think, with him in his white Kingpin suit. But then like majority of the rest of the trailer shots is actually him in like a black suit wearing like the American pin flag. Because I think if he's not already mayor at this point, he's running for mayor. One of the two. So yeah. But they say that he wore a lot of those white suits around Vanessa, and back when he was trying to prove that when he was innocent and like he's a good guy. That was the main reason he wore the white suits, was trying to prove to the public that he's not as bad as they make him out to be. So
yeah, I like her as an actress, so I'm excited to see her play this role again.
Yeah. Do you want to tell us about the information you got on The Rock about his The Rock and his Disney thing he's supposed to be doing, but then
Yeah,
what fans also
a
want.
lot of fans have like seen The Rock like signing something for Disney. So at first everyone was like, "Oh, he's gonna play Apocalypse." So there's some really cool like fan art that was made out of him becoming Apocalypse, which I was like, "All right, that's legit. That's pretty dope."
That does look pretty
But
sick, actually.
and then in my mind, I'm just like, okay, but if that is like, if he's signing something for Disney, we know that he's doing Moana too, but we also know that he's doing the Monster Jam
Right.
thing from D23. So, like, what do you guys think? Like, do you think he's going to be Apocalypse, or do you think that's just like a fan, like, fiction type thing?
So honestly, The Rock is a 50-50 thing for me. So like half of the stuff he's in, I either enjoy it or I laugh at it, and then the other half of the stuff he's in, I'm just not a fan. It just don't do it for me. And I'll be honest with you, as supportive as I like to be of anybody wanting to get into the Marvel realm or the MCU or anything, just don't. I don't come into the MCU.
Do you want a Too Fast, Too Furious, The Rock play?
I don't want Too Fast, Too Furious stuff. I don't want Black Adam in the MCU. Like Black Adam left a bad taste in my mouth, to be honest with you. To me, my favorite thing of Black Adam was Dr. Fate. And
they played the shit out of him.
yeah, and then they killed him. But I don't know. I'm honestly, as supportive as I am as a lot of actors coming into the MCU, I just don't want The Rock to. I really don't. And it's nothing like, ooh, it's not hate towards him, because like I said, I like half the stuff he does. I just don't want to take a chance of ruining Apocalypse.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna be honest with you, like we've had Apocalypse already in the Fox universe, and Oscar Isaac is a phenomenal actor, and he played him, and I didn't like that Apocalypse. So I don't want to take a chance of us getting a second bad Apocalypse.
Yeah.
So wait, Oscar Isaac played 2 Marvel characters now as well?
Oh,
he sure has.
So the running joke is Oscar Isaac has his own multiverse. So we have Oscar Isaac, who played Spider-Man 2099 in Across the Spider-Verse. Oscar Isaac played Moon Knight. Oscar Isaac played Apocalypse. And I want to say there's a 4th superhero that he's played a voice or an acting of, and I can't think of what it is right now. But the running joke is Oscar Isaac has his own multiverse of him because he's played so many characters.
He's currently in the lead out of all the actors in the game right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is. He is.
It's like, damn.
What's your opinion, Deontay, on The Rock? I mean, that fan art looks cool. Like, don't get me wrong.
The fan art is pretty sick, man. I have a long history of being the world's #1 Dwayne Johnson hater, so I'm gonna shit on everything he does. Like, I think the only thing I liked from him was Scorpion King, and everybody else is telling me like, yo, Scorpion King's like the worst project he did. Well, that sucks for him even more. so it's just like, if he does Apocalypse, that'll probably be like the one comic book character that he deserves to be.
Yeah.
I tell this joke quite a bit, so hopefully nobody gets butthurt watching this, but it's kind of fitting seeing a big orange gorilla playing a big purple gorilla. So it's a good transition for The Rock. He puts on the purple suit, comes Apocalypse, and they're both assholes. So, so I can see it working out for him.
I'm not gonna lie, the face shape and everything though, and his structure of his face, it actually looks pretty comic accurate.
It does, man.
Like I literally like he his face structure. Like I've seen more obviously of the X-Men 97 than the 90s animation more than anything. And like that the way it's drawn up in the 90s X-Men, like it looks just like The Rock's face in that artwork.
It does.
That's
Did you notice in that fan art down below? Pull it up again. There's Cyclops' skull down there to the left.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what that was. But thank you for explaining that.
The fan art, whoever did the fan art, like kudos to them. Like they did a good job designing that. I'm not gonna lie. But, yeah. Let's leave The Rock out of it, please.
He ruined Black Adam for me. I don't want him to touch shit else.
And I'm not gonna lie, like he hyped Black Adam up so much, and he made it sound like he was bringing DC back. And like I'm not gonna lie, it kind of hyped me up. I was like, man, looks wise, he looked good as Black Adam, but then like his acting just did not bring it. It was not convincing at all.
Just Dwayne Johnson in the fucking Black Adam suit.
I didn't mind Black Adam. I'm just gonna put that out there. I didn't mind it. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I take a dump on it every chance I get.
Oh my god!
More news of like theories and rumors that are out. Gambit. So Channing Tatum has time and time again said how thankful he is for Ryan Reynolds to get him actually to play the Gambit role, but now he kind of wants to do some more. Like he's very open to playing it again. So he had the Blink Twice movie come out, and there was an interview that he had in there where they asked him like, hey, like, how was it? And he's like, it was amazing. It was everything I wanted it to be and more, but I'm like also in the talks of like trying to get like more action. So I don't think it would be a phase 5 thing, maybe a phase 6, like when they bring in all of those cameos and everything for Secret Wars. But that's my guess, is that like if we do see him again as Gambit, I don't want it to be a full thing. But another cameo I would go for.
Yeah, so like
a name for myself here today.
Well, what's wild is like how many people hated on this and shit on this, right? And like before it happened. And now I'm not gonna lie, he's winning people's hearts over.
He is.
Like people are about it now, and people can, they made fun of the dialect and all that right there. But I'm not gonna lie, like his accent overall was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty accurate. It's pretty great. My only issue with him as Gambit is he's too big. Like we don't need somebody that big. But I never thought I would say this because, like, ever since the rumor came out like 6 years ago of him wanting to do a Gambit movie, I have been anti about it. Still am, but like you said, if him making a cameo in Secret Wars come back, I kind of want it. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of do want that. And like, I mean, he's on, like you talking about those interviews, and like I ran across probably 4 or 5 interviews of him now, and like one interview, he's like, he's like super thankful for Ryan, but he's like, listen, he's like, I still want this movie. He's like, I will do very, very bad things to make this movie happen. And his next word on one of the interviews, he goes, I will kill kittens to make this happen. And I'm like, oh my God. But
bro,
yeah, internet's having fun with that one.
Yeah.
That line's been repeated quite a few times now.
I mean, I'm allergic to cats, so I'm okay with this.
But also, one of the things that everybody's going on about is, at the end of Deadpool, we had that end credit scene where Deadpool's so wanting to convince us as an audience that, Johnny Storm did say those words about Cassandra Nova, and he didn't make them up. But let me just pull this up right here. So far left TV screen, this ain't the best image that I got online, but it's actually an image of Gambit. And this is actually like these scenes, is actually like none of the scenes we've seen before. And it was after the fact that they had the battle. So he's still alive. And, they kind of make us believe that like Wesley Snipes and Wesley Snipes Blade, Jennifer Garner's Elektra, like they get to go back into probably their timeline or whatever, because they asked the TVA if they couldn't. They said we'll see about that. Well, with Gambit truly not having a timeline or a story or a movie, maybe he's the one now running the Void, and we will get to see him again in Secret Wars if they make the Void Battle World, like a lot of rumors and like we've talked on here has been about. That would make sense, and I would be okay with that. Like, he don't even have to necessarily be running the Void now, but let him still be there and put Battle World there. And that's how we get that fun cameo. And maybe we get, 5 or 6 more one-liners to start repeating again here in a couple of years.
Oh, man.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like I said, never thought I would say this, but I'm here for him reprising his role in Secret Wars, but definitely not after.
I don't expect anything permanent from him. Like, I'll see him again and be happy knowing that it's a temporary thing.
Right.
But if you want to bring back Taylor Kitsch, I mean,
yes.
I mean, the Void does have a bunch of different variants. So, like, if we haven't seen any of the Lokis, like any of the Lokis that they did, like prune,
Right.
We have all of those. Like, there is that Taylor Kitsch Gambit that we could theoretically see again, and that would be the perfect setting for it.
Yeah,
I'm here for it.
Give him the same outfit they gave Channing Tatum. give Taylor Kitsch a haircut from last time he played, Gambit. But like his, I think he could nail it. I think he could nail it, and he could be our new Gambit, like moving forward with our mutant storytelling. They just give the guy the right outfit and a better script.
Yeah, better script, Cajun accent, and then just
Right.
let him do his thing. Because Gambit's a tall, slender ladies man, and I ain't saying Channing Tatum ain't a ladies man, but he's kind of.
Well, we know he's definitely ladies man.
He's the type of person that would be more of a beast.
Oh yeah,
actor than
he's more of a Magic Mike, not a Gambit. So.
Yeah.
Didn't they have 3 of those movies or something?
I don't know. Oh my God.
I don't know.
I think there is 3. Oh, so here's something actually a surprise that I didn't put on the list that we don't have a banner for. It just popped in my mind is the rumor that at the end credit scene of Fantastic Four, the way they would get rid of Kangs is Dr. Doom will come in and will destroy all of the Kangs in credit scene of Fantastic Four movie. And it gets to show just pretty much how big and powerful Doom is. But how they will do that without showing Jonathan Major's face, I don't know. Which I'm sure they're creative as shit. They'll figure out a way. But that's the rumor on the street, and I'm not gonna lie. They have to get rid of him somehow, like on screen. They can't just let him all those variants disappear and act like they didn't give us some of these amazing scenes that we've actually been looking forward to. So if they figure out a good creative way to bring in Doom and to destroy all of the Kang variants at one time, that would be sick, and it would show us a Doom that we've never seen on screen before that powerful.
Yeah, because there have been instances like multiple times where Kang and Doom are like friends in the comics, and then they stab each other in the back, like literally stab each other in the back.
Right.
So it wouldn't be like a complete reach that Doom and Kang are always destroying one another. So it's also in fashion.
Yeah, and it makes sense because we do know that at the end credit scene, or at least one, if there's multiple, right, of Fantastic Four, we are supposed to see Doom. So if that is right, where we do see him killing off those Kang variants, that would be
that would be a pretty big move.
Yeah.
Like I know there's a lot of fans out there too. So there's rumor that we're going to get another variant of Thanos in another universe. And there's the famous comic artwork where Doom actually is talking to Thanos and they're kind of bickering or whatever, going back and forth, talking about who's more powerful. I can't remember exactly the lines of what they're having a conversation regardless. And Doom out of nowhere just reaches and pulls out Thanos's spine and skull all attached together and kills him instantly. And rumor has it that we may get that live action as well. Yeah, just to show like we're getting God Emperor Doom like that level. And I'm like, man, that would be sick to see. Especially we see how big of the struggle there was for them to fight Thanos and what the Avengers went through, and to have a villain come along that tops everything we've ever seen on screen. Like that would be pretty wild to see. Yeah.
Doom
that was something else that. No, go ahead.
Yeah, Doom got to be like top 5 like Marvel villains of all time. Like that dude, when you give him an in-game goal, like he will take out any villain or hero that stands in his way to get it. So it's the possibilities is limitless in MCU.
And D23, we actually did see that they are making a King Thanos. Yep. But it's for like the one of the amusement park rides in the Avengers campus. So it would be neat to see like a variant of kind of like different people, and that would be like a different one, a cool one. Maybe The Rock gets to play that because he's donning his purple suit.
Let Josh Brolin have that line too.
Yeah.
Pretty iconic voice. Like I can't hear every time I hear Josh Brolin. Like I was watching Open Range on Amazon, which is like a sci-fi western with Josh Brolin in it, and season 2 just dropped here recently. And like every time I hear him talk, I mentally keep picturing Thanos, and I can't like unsee it now. Same way like hearing him play Cable in Deadpool, even though I love his Cable in that, I still hear Thanos.
Josh Brolin is a damn good actor, man.
Oh yeah.
Damn good actor. He's a part of some of my favorite movies and TV shows ever.
Did he also play Jonah Hex?
He did.
Yeah.
He did play Jonah Hex. People say that movie was trash, but I enjoyed it.
It's been so long now. I have to go back and rewatch it. But yeah, I think that was Josh Brolin and Megan Fox, I believe.
Mm-hmm. He played a damn good Jonah Hex too.
I did not enjoy that movie, so that's what we're disagreeing again.
So we did get a new Kraven trailer that's dropped in
did.
the past week, about I think 6 days ago. I think last Wednesday. But I'm not gonna lie. Overall, the trailer seems pretty legit. Like, obviously, I'm not going to sit here and say, "Oh my God, yeah, it's going to be a great movie," because we see Sony has proven time and time and again they can't do anything without the hand of the MCU holding it and it being a good and successful. But the trailer looks good to me. My opinion, I think it looks great. And then we also get to see the Rhino in this latest trailer for the first time. And I know it's kind of like mixed reviews. A lot of people love it, a lot of people hate it. But personally, I'm liking it, man. I'm not sure how they're going to go about it, and obviously, I don't know how the acting is going to be. But visually, I'm loving the visuals that we're getting of the Rhino. I like it better than Paul Giamatti's robotic Rhino. I like it better than it being a guy in a rhino suit like we get in the animated series. But I don't know. What's y'all's opinion on this on the trailer overall, but then also on Rhino?
Deontay, you go ahead and go first.
My thoughts on the trailer. Yeah, it does look pretty good as far as Sony standards goes. Because I think some of
that's not saying much.
It's not saying much about them at all. Like, their top 2 trailers was probably the first Venom trailer and then this one, because everything else was ass. Like, not even the Madam Web trailer advertised the movie is the way that turned out. Like, holy shit. But
Madam who?
Madam Hot Garbage.
yeah, right.
Yeah, they have kind of a damn good cast. Like, his dad is played by none other than
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe. I forget the actress that plays Calypso, but Calypso, she's a comic book accurate character, love interest for Kraven the Hunter, and beautiful casting choice for her too. So the trailer does look pretty good as far as Sony movies go.
Yeah, I think it's the best Kraven trailer. Like, compared to like the teaser and the last full trailer we got, to me, like, this sells me that it could possibly be a decent movie over the other trailers and teasers we've had so far.
Yeah, because it's just like last trailer we saw him climb on top of a dude's lap and bite his ear off. Like, whoa, that's kind of kinky, bro.
No.
I don't know if the real Kraven is down like that, but go ahead, Sony, cook.
I don't know. Like, I'm just kind of like whatever about it. I don't really like the Rhino like look, but like I don't really know what else I was expecting.
Sure.
It comes out in December of this year, so I'm gonna go see it. But I don't know.
No.
Like, I'm not hype about it. Is what I want to say.
No.
I'm not going to get hyped about it by no means, for sure. Because Sony's track record is enough. I mean, because I'm not gonna lie. I mean, the first trailer we got where it showed like different scenes, I'm like, God, why is he moving like Morbius did when we seen the Morbius movie?
Yeah,
I feel like the way he's like running and the walls and ceiling or whatever. It's like, I don't know, but this trailer is an improvement, I think, of all the marketing and promotions that they've done. I want it to be good, like. But I think Sony pretty much, from what I understand, I could be wrong. I think they pretty much have given up, though. On continuing the path that they were trying to do. I think they were trying to work towards a Sinister Six again for the second time. And once again, I think they've given up. I just wish it. I would love for them just to sign the rights over, or let Marvel buy all of them back, and let the MCU and Feige just take off and do with Spider-Man franchise and give us what we deserve.
Yeah, it's such an idiotic choice just to hold Spider-Man and the entire franchise hostage because you think you're going to make more money off of Marvel
Yeah.
than Marvel will. So it's like, bro, come
Yeah.
on.
Or at least be smart, Sony, and let all of your writers for your Spider-Man games take over your writing for the Spider-Man movies.
The Spider-Man games are beautiful, and the
Yes.
storyline is amazing. So if
So
they could
good.
do that, that'd be neat.
Sony needs to let their gaming area and then their animation area just team up together to make a live action. Because like Across and Into the Spider-Verse, amazing. Spider-Man franchise games, amazing. Live action Sony, not so much. But yeah. See, next on the list. So, My Time to Shine Hello, which is a pretty trusted source that has a pretty great track record of getting, I want to say like 80 to 85% of stuff right when it comes to like early rumors and leaks. And they report that in Avengers Secret Wars, we will 100% be getting Tobey Maguire, Wesley Snipes Blade, Chris Evans, ScarJo, and Nick Cage's Ghost Rider. So obviously we know like Secret Wars. I think they're going to pull. Honestly, they're probably going to pull all the tricks out of their bag, and any actor or actress that they can negotiate with a fair price on what they think is a fair price that will come back. I think they're going to pull all the tricks out of the bag and put everybody in there. But yeah, Nick Cage as Ghost Rider. I think it'd be fun to see a quick cameo. Don't give that man more than 2 lines. You may possibly like. So Nick Cage, I love and I hate at the same time. Like I grew up watching Nick Cage with my dad, so it's more of a sentimental thing. But when it comes down to the down points of acting, it's like. Ugh. But yeah, if you give Nick Cage more than 2 lines of Secret Wars, it's possible that Marvel could do a trash Secret Wars and he took them all down.
Yeah, by himself.
Yeah.
What I read in that article was that they didn't say what character they were going to play. They just agreed with the actors or actresses themselves to be in the movie. So we don't know if he could theoretically, like Nick Cage or even ScarJo, because like she said she would never do Black Widow again. So like theoretically she could just be a casual civilian, and we were like, that's the girl. But like and that's it. But she's not actually doing the thing.
For the right money, she would be Black Widow for a cameo in Secret Wars. Because let's be honest, she has such a huge fan base for her playing Black Widow. And like to this day, she's still highly talked about playing that character and talked about how much it's missed. And a lot of her co-stars, I mean, miss acting with her. Like she has always been talked highly and not negatively of her co-stars, directors and everything else. And I think if she is to show up in this, I think she has to be almost a variant of Black Widow or something. And everybody would go wild. I think it needs to be. If they don't, I think they're wrong.
Right.
But yeah, and obviously we know who Wesley Snipes and Tobey Maguire is going to come in as. Chris Evans obviously could be 2 different characters. I think in Secret Wars we will get his Cap. I think Marvel had their fun with him as a Johnny Storm one more run in Deadpool Wolverine. I think we will get him back as Steve Rogers in Secret Wars, but after that he'll be done. Obviously, I think. But if I had to choose, if I got to pick, it would be Steve Rogers. I would love to see Steve Rogers and Sam team up as both Caps together in a scene in Secret Wars.
That would be pretty neat. Okay.
Both of them with their shields and some kind of battle, almost like a back-to-back, and give us that on your left, line. Like, oh my god, yeah, for real.
Oh my god, Secret Wars is one of those movies like y'all should stop telling us who all the secret cameos are going to be.
Please.
Y'all pushed your luck with Deadpool and Wolverine. Don't even try that shit with Secret Wars. Like,
yes.
Let us go to the theaters and get pop every cameo. So.
Oh yeah. So when Secret Wars comes out, I'm bringing tripod and camera, and like I'm filming our whole entire like us in the cinema sitting in the chairs, and we're getting nothing but reaction footage,
raw reaction.
Because we know how crazy Endgame was. I mean, Like I stood up a couple of times and like it got loud. But I guarantee you, in game, wow, Secret Wars is going to be on a whole nother level when it comes to if they do this right on crowd reactions and stuff, which we know they're going to.
I mean, the Russo bros are the ones that are directing it.
Exactly.
Like, so it's got to be good, and especially if they do like if Steve Rogers like comes or Chris Evans, Chris Evans comes back as Steve Rogers, and like they do the whole like circle like from Doctor Strange, and he comes in and he's standing next to Falcon, who is now, you know, Captain America, and says "on your left" and is dressed,
and have Steve Rogers say "on your left." That would be sick.
Shit.
That would be sick. Oh my god, I just got chills thinking about that.
I would have jogged my happy ass out the theater and came right back in.
I would like going there making circles and a lap around the chairs. Just, oh my god, that's perfect. I love that. That is perfect. That should definitely be in there.
We need Chris Evans and Steve Rogers one more time. Wishful thinking, RDJ's Tony Stark. I'd be happy to see him again in this.
Just like a variant from another universe,
right?
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah. Like don't do any kind of going back in time, bringing our RDJ back, or I'm sorry, our Iron Man back. But yeah, like I think definitely he should reprise a cameo from another universe as him as Iron Man for sure. Like we all want that. We all want to see it just one last time. Just one last
more
time.
Tony Stark appearance.
It can be 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, or the last battle scene, whatever. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's it for this week for Marvel. I think we have one topic for DC.
That is true.
Since we forgot the Marvel intro, you know, I'll go ahead and do the DC intro.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
About 3 topics ago, I'm like, about that. Okay. Let's see. So, only thing we got DC this week is John Cena confirms he was actually, I think, had an interview a couple weeks ago, and he's like, you know, the only thing I can speak on is we are definitely getting Peacemaker season 2 next year. I think it will be after Superman comes out.
Yeah.
But he said we will get that. He's like, honestly, I can't speak on nothing else because it's above my pay grade. He's like, but I will give everybody the confirmation it will be out next year. And honestly, out of a lot of the DC stuff, like I love Peacemaker season 1. I literally laughed my ass off. So I'm actually anxious. Like I'm actually looking forward to season 2 of Peacemaker. I enjoyed it.
No, man.
So James Gunn, actually on X, used to be Twitter, now X, whatever. But like he had said on that platform that it is indeed going to be after Superman. So the earliest that we could theoretically see it is in like September of 2025, because we know Superman comes out in like July 11th.
Yeah, I think July. Yep.
So we do know that like Peacemaker season 2 is going to pick right up after season 1 ends. So, you know, we'll see.
I'm ready for it.
Long as it's got the same comedic, aspect as the last one, I'm here for it. Yeah. And John Cena is one of those actors to me, like, I'm not a big John Cena fan, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm not. Well, I'm not a wrestling fan, but then like a lot of his acting, I've just never been a big fan of it. And but when he came on as Peacemaker, oh my god! Like I don't know what it was about that role, but it did it for me. Like I was like, all right, I can dig this.
Yeah, he made himself at home, man. He's a wrestler that I love 10 times more than Dwayne Johnson.
Really?
Just saying, but in my eyes, he hasn't done one bad movie role yet. And now he's found his home as Peacemaker. Is just like, all right, James Gunn, you just nailed something. Keep him forever.
Nice. Yeah, and I think we have like one topic on some Star Wars news today.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I hate to be the bearer of bad news, guys, but the Alcolyte season 2 is not happening. The series just recently got canceled as of, I want to say 48 hours ago, confirmed by several different sources. So enjoy season 1 while it lasts.
Oh, darn. Shucks a doodles.
Yeah.
There's
You guys had so much hope. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry.
no, not really, but there's like I think there's like 2 or 3 aspects of that whole series I liked. Like out of what was it, 8 episodes, there might have been like if you took little clips, little things out of each episode, there might have been half an episode that I liked out of these 8 episodes.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, I mean, and that would be a collage of them all put together, and
Mhm.
like this could have been such a great series. Like it really could have been such a great series of the High Republic time, and bringing in the Darth Plagueis, you know, and different things, but they just went about it the wrong way.
It was
Anyways,
rough. Yeah.
there's a reason why there's no season 2. Hopefully we will get not necessarily a continuation of the story of Osha or whatever, but we will get some kind of continuation from maybe another series of Darth Plagueis, and like kind of like I want to see more of where that will lead to. So maybe we'll get a different series. They'll get creative with something on down the road, but as in for the rest of it, it just really didn't do it for me.
So where does the Acolyte actually like take place?
200 years before the Phantom Menace.
Okay, and then where does Andor take place?
Andor takes place before Rogue One. Oh yeah, right before Rogue One.
Okay.
Because Andor season 2 is going to the end of it is going to lead right up to the Rogue One story.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, and we may never get to see Darth Plagueis ever again. They might have just ruined the one thing that we've all been wanting for years by going about it the wrong way, and they're like, we're not risking that again.
But, yeah, I need to watch Tales of the Empire. Apparently, that's been on Disney Plus for a while now. That's supposed to be their Sith exclusive show.
Really?
They promised us a live-action Sith exclusive show, but we didn't really get that with the Acolyte.
Mm-hmm.
No, well, I knew the Acolyte was big on like the High Republic era.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to, I think, maybe get like the restarting of the Sith. But like even with them like focusing on the High Republic era, I wasn't even that impressed on what part of that they even gave us. So yeah.
Very interesting storyline to choose.
For sure. But yeah, other than that, I guess we got a whole bunch of mixed educated wish entertainment to talk about. So the Boys co-creator Garth Ennis is actually making a movie of his most violent comic line. Don't know if anybody's familiar with it. I'm not super familiar with it at all, but I did some research, and it's called Crossed, and it's brutal. Like you should see some of the artwork. Like this is probably the most timid artwork out of all of it, but it's kind of like it takes place in a post-apocalyptic time, but like it's apparently nothing but just gore, murder, and gore again.
Yeah, from what I read is that like it's a 10 series comic book issue, and it takes place in that like post-pandemic type world, and anybody who's infected with this disease gets that cross rash on them, and that's how you know that they're infected.
There was one artwork I almost put up, and it was so bad. It was actually like a little kid with that cross rash, whatever, and then like there was a woman with her skin just stripped of her and like bloody and muscle showing. Something I was like, nah, I'll show the one with the guy about to hit a guy with an axe.
Yeah, how good on that one.
Yeah, like it's wild. You should like if you get a chance, go look up the cover art for them. You'll be like, oh my god. And like the Boys is pretty gory and stuff, and like they say is like way worse than the Boys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god.
So definitely this movie, I guarantee, is going to be R.
Yeah.
Fitness, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Also, Knives Out. I love the Knives Out movies.
Yes.
2 of them, and there's also I think a show as well. But we're getting a 3rd movie, and it's called Wake Up Dead Man. And they actually just wrapped filming this week or last week, so that should be coming out soon and getting a date for it. But
actually, an actual more exact date, yeah. But like it is supposed to release in 2025. Like that's confirmed. As to like when in 2025, we don't know. We do know it's a sequel to Glass Onion. So you got Knives Out, Glass Onion. Now it's going to be the Wake Up Dead man. We have Mila Kunis that's going to be in it, Josh Brolin and Jeremy Renner that are all supposed to be in it, and as well as Daniel Craig bringing back that detective.
Yeah, I heard that more likely Daniel Craig's coming back, but that I heard that he's not yet been confirmed actually.
Oh, I saw it on IMDb.
Oh, well, it should be. Oh, here's the crazy thing about IMDb though. Like IMDb says we have Ian McKellen and Deadpool Wolverine as Magneto, and we don't even have that. Like it still says it right now if you look it up.
Okay.
Because I was looking up the cast the other night, and it showed at the bottom. I got to it. So Ian McKellen's like, "That's a lie. That is not true." Because I would have been so happy.
I would get him in the post-credit scenes as Magneto.
Yeah, maybe that's why. I think that they were actually going to put him in there for a cameo role, and I think they decided not to for whatever reason, and that's why they mentioned about Magneto being killed and his helmet being melted down, and they decided just to go with that route for whatever reason. But I think he was. I think he was supposed to be in it originally.
Okay.
Yep. Also wrapping up filming this week is Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan's Freakiest Friday, the sequel that is coming almost 20 years later, I think.
Yeah, the last one was in 2003, so it's over.
Oh yeah, 20 years. probably time we get it, probably 22.
Yeah, because that's supposed to come out in 25 as well.
Yeah, I actually want to see this. Like the original one. I remember watching it as a kid, and I thought it was funny. And I love Jamie Lee Curtis and like Lindsay Lohan. Like I'm glad to see her doing so much better with her life. She's looking great and like looks like she's feeling better and got her stuff together. So like to see someone come back from an underdog story like that and going through a hard time. It's always good to see one come on top. So
yeah, Lindsay Lohan does have a movie that I just watched on Netflix. It's called Irish Wish. It's a rom-com. Like it's super corny, but she gets to act in it, and she looks well, and she did well in it.
You gotta show up and support our girl.
Heck yeah.
We have the exact same birthday too. That's me and Lindsay.
Yeah.
Really?
Okay. Last second, I was like, damn, she's got me beat by like a year. We would have been twins.
Damn.
Next on the list, we have the Megan, the Megan movie we got. Actually, it's kind of weird, freaky, but I kind of liked it. Like I'm not sitting here saying like it was, oh my god, just an amazing movie by no means, but it was entertaining. But we're actually getting a spin-off of that movie called Soulmate. And did Taylor, you read a little bit on that? Like
I did. Yeah.
I can only imagine.
So we do know that there's supposed to be a Megan too. So like this is just a spin-off of Megan. It's supposed to be following like a robotic soulmate of like a male. I don't know if it's a male that is looking for his soulmate, I think is what it is, and he makes a robot, kind of like Weird Science, if you guys have ever seen that.
Oh, heck yeah.
So June 2nd, 2026 is when this is supposed to come out. And the only one that like recently that I saw that was added to the cast is Victoria Newman from The Boys, the head popper girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I couldn't pronounce her last name, so I was.
She also is a character. She was also an actress for a character in Call of Duty game, Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah. Yep. So she's supposed to be in this. I don't know if she's the actual like robot or like what her role is yet. But that's what I read about it. So I liked Megan. It was super creepy and super cool to just kind of see like that happen. So yeah.
Yeah. That iconic dance scene where she's chasing the dude down the hallway to the elevator. She's just like,
that was the only part about that. I was like, okay.
I don't know if all that's necessary to kill somebody, but you do your thing, honey.
Yeah.
Right?
But speaking of Nicolas Cage,
I was going to say,
damn.
Out of all the roles that Nick Cage has played, to me, out of all the roles that Nick Cage has played that doesn't make sense, let me rephrase that. Yeah. This is probably the one that's got me confused the most, and probably to me personally doesn't make sense the most. So he is playing John Madden, in a movie biopic about John Madden called a film called Madden, and like he gives me zero Madden vibes, looks, talk, anything. If anybody should play John Madden in a movie, it should be Frank Caliendo. Like that guy impersonates that guy impersonates John Madden perfectly to a T. But this just makes no sense to me. But like, so Tay, you sit there and said that like, what was it about? Was it the director?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, or
controversial
the
stuff?
filmmaker. Yeah, it was the filmmaker himself. He has some Bruce Russell is his last name. He's got some pretty controversial stuff going on. I don't know if this happened like prior or whatever, but not great. Y'all can do a little research if you so desire.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, that was one of the things I read. Was like, the controversy behind the guy, making the movie, and then on top of the controversy of it just being Nick Cage portraying John Madden. I mean,
So
like,
at the same time that this filmmaker is making this movie, he's also making another movie with Selena Gomez about like a pop star. It's like pop something or another. I didn't write it down, so I can't remember.
Hope it's not Trapped too.
Yeah. I hope not. But an interesting thing that I also read about this is that the filmmaker actually had like thought about making either Will Ferrell or Hugh Jackman the role of Madden before they went to Nick Cage, and I'm like, how did you go? What was your lineup? Like you pulled out like the police lineup, and you were like, yeah, these are my three that I have to choose from.
So they actually approached Hugh Jackman with this role, and Hugh Jackman straight up turned it down. But out of those three, as much as I love Hugh Jackman, can't see that man being John Madden either.
Absolutely not.
Will Ferrell could probably be the closest one. Like you give that man some bushy white eyebrows and a white wig, his face could actually pull off probably a John Madden portrayal. But Hugh Jackman, even like what?
Yeah,
like
Will Ferrell.
Can you imagine being the guy coming to Hugh Jackman with the script, like, "Hey, read this. See if you want to play this role." Like,
and it's John Madden of all people. We want you to be John Madden himself. Like, bro, what? You don't get your crazy ass out of here with that shit.
Yeah, I mean, that movie should be nothing but like, "He made a touchdown," or him saying stuff like, "Brett Favre, I love Brett Favre," and him just talking about Brett Favre the whole time. Like, that's pretty much what that movie is going to be about. Like, why even make it?
It's such a bad idea. I feel like their casting options just got worse and worse, and they just said, "Fuck it, we're gonna keep Nick Cage." It's like, how much worse did it get? We were going to cast Idris Elba to play John Madden, but he wasn't available. Wow, fuck this movie.
I think I'd rather see Idris Elba play John Madden than Nick Cage. And let the controversy begin.
He looks so much like him, right?
Oh my god,
identical.
So Hellboy the Crooked Man is also getting, people are like, oh, it's getting mixed reviews. A lot of people are excited for it. You get a lot of people who's like making fun of it, the way he looks, whatever. And a lot of people are thinking this is a reboot, of Hellboy. And they're actually like the creators and stuff. They're like, we don't want people to look at this as a reboot at all. We just want this to be looked at as Hellboy at an earlier age, and you getting stories of him as a younger person. Like we're not even trying to reboot the Hellboy saga. We want this to be kind of a continuation of the story. And I'm not gonna lie, I think by the way they made him looks very, very good to Ron Perlman's Hellboy as a younger version. So like I'm glad they said that. Personally, I like Ron Perlman's Hellboy. Are they the best movies? No, but I enjoyed them. But yeah, they're wanting people to look at this as just a continuation of earlier stories in his younger life.
And I found out that y'all ever seen Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Oh yeah,
the TV series with Will Smith. Joffrey, their
butler.
Yeah, I was gonna say housemaid. I was like, no, that's not the right word. But yeah, the butler. He's actually gonna be in this.
Oh really?
As a Reverend Watts, I think, or something like that. Yep. But yeah, this comes out on in September So September 27th, 2024. So
Nice.
just a month and a couple of days away, month and a week.
So, like, Avatar's kind of hit and miss with James Cameron, but there is one news on James Cameron that I actually am kind of looking forward to for the first time since, I don't know, probably Titanic, but no. But so James Cameron actually mentioned the other day that he's about to step back into the Terminator franchise. And he is going to be working on a secret project that he's keeping close to his chest. He's not showing any of his cards on this, but he is actually going to be working on a Terminator project here soon. So I am curious to see which route this is going to go. If it's going to be good, if it's going to be bad. But I honestly think that it could actually be pretty decent. Him stepping back into it. I like the Terminator movies. That's another one of those nostalgic, franchises that are great that I enjoy. No matter what version they put out there, my butt's going to be in the theater watching it. So.
Yeah, it's like a really good guilty pleasure, man. You can never go wrong with the Terminator movies.
Well, if you like the Terminator, I don't know if you saw, but Terminator 0 is coming to Netflix in like 8 short days, 9 days, the 29th. So it's an anime from the same like writer from or director from Bleach. That anime. So that's coming out on the 29th of this month. It's going to be 8 episodes at once. And we actually have Timothy Oliphant as the Terminator, and then you have Rosario Dawson as a different character in it. So
nice.
It looks
some big names they pulling in there then.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
But this thing that James Cameron's working on isn't anything to do with that. He is getting credit for like writing those characters, as you can see on like his IMDb page. But yeah,
this nice.
I can rock with that.
So
I'll let you take the lead on probably on the rest of the list.
Okay. The next thing we're going to talk about is Dexter. So Michael C. Hall had a couple of updates. From what I saw, it was really about the original Sin. So that's the prequel to Dexter, where he's like just doing the voice. So we're gonna see the '80s cult classic star and director like rejoin from Heathers. It's coming out December 2024. It's gonna be on Paramount Plus. It's gonna be 10 episodes. I don't know if I already said that, but anyway. It's going to show Dexter as his like early years interning in the crime lab, and you're going to see Christian Slater as his dad, Harry.
Okay.
Sarah Michelle Gellar is supposed to be in it as Tamara, and the directors is like Michael Lehman, and that's the director of like Heathers. We also do know that Angel and Maria, so Angel Batista and Maria LaGuardia from the show from Dexter, they're going to be in it, played by different characters or actors,
like younger versions of themselves.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah,
nice. So a lot of people characters we're still familiar with then. So yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So it looks pretty good. 3 weeks ago, we had that trailer come out, that kind of like teaser. So it's going to be interesting to see how they like portray this. There really wasn't much about Resurrection that came out of this other than it's a sequel. It's coming in September, or not September, but summer of 2025. And you're going to see kind of like Harrison throughout it because of the new blood. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is The Office reboot.
All right.
So The Office is going to be happening in Australia. So this is different from the reboot that the US is doing with Peacock. So this one is just happening in Australia, and it's going to be coming to Prime on October 18th. It's going to be 8 episodes. It's the first ever time that we're going to have a female lead as The Office, because the UK one and the US one, both male leads. And it's going to be centered around working from home, COVID-19 kind of esque.
Okay.
Yes. The next thing that's on the list, sorry, excuse me, is the Grave of the Fireflies. So this is a 1988 Studio Ghibli movie. that is coming out onto Netflix. And that's going to be on September 16th. It's got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's got like a 95% for audience score. But apparently, it's like super dark. Danielle Swanson, who like follows like our group and everything, I was talking to her about it because she's all about Studio Ghibli, and she was just like, "Yeah, I could only watch it once." So,
wow.
I'm excited to see what that has in store.
I have to dip into anime for the first time.
Yeah, Studio Ghibli is a good starting point for most people.
Yeah, I started with Spirited Away, and then I found out that Max had like all of them, and I just like rifled through those. Before the Saturday Night Nerds had a Studio Ghibli, I think top 5.
We did.
Yeah. So I remember being in the comments for that.
My very first like introduction into anime was Kiki's Delivery Service. So Studio Ghibli's been there since day one for me.
I think the next one after the Spirited Away was Howl's Moving Castle that I had seen. But I love Studio Ghibli now, so I'm super excited about this. The next thing that we're going to talk about is Blue-Eyed Samurai Season 2. We got some updates that it's not going to be coming like as soon as we had hoped. It's going to be coming as soon as like the end of 2026, if not 2027.
Oh, wow.
So we wouldn't see the entire series end until maybe 2030. So
I can wait.
It's a great, series itself. So I can't wait to see more of it. Just because she's like a female samurai and seeing how that all plays out. It's really dope. Today we had the Y2K trailer drop. And so we got to see Russell from Deadpool in the back there. So that's what he's been up to. This comes out December 6th of 2024. It's an A24 movie. It's got a 63% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's supposed to be like a horror comedy. And the trailer itself like has a lot of nostalgia elements to it. Like you see like somebody dying by a VCR. It's bloody, it's gory, and it's stupid funny. Jonah Hill is supposed to be one of the producers on this as well.
When is this releasing?
So that's supposed to be in December 6th.
December 6th?
This year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go see that.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, well, I already love A24. Like, it's from the same people that did Hereditary, which you haven't seen yet, and you have to see.
My favorite horror movie right now.
So we said that we were going to stop supporting M. Night Shyamalan and continue supporting A24. So
there we go.
We got to go see it.
Great trade-off.
I only really do horror movies for A24. They do like other things, but I don't really dive into that much as well.
They're risky.
Yeah.
I will say that their Civil War movie was pretty good.
Yeah, Civil War was good.
Yeah. And like it went a route that I didn't expect it to go, but even though it was completely not what I expected it to be, it was still really good. Like, and from the perspective they gave us, I was like, the only thing that didn't make sense about it was the two states that teamed up together would have probably never ever teamed up together in real life. But if you ignore that part, like, it's pretty good, and seeing it from like a news reporter, perspective.
So I'm curious, did Civil War have like the kind of like the Easter eggs throughout, like Hereditary and Midsommar does? Like,
I'm not sure.
Kind of tell like.
So I did watch Midsommar, and that's probably the movie that mind fucked me the most out of any movie I've ever seen. And I walked out of the theater, and I just went home and sat on the couch staring at the wall for probably about an hour, trying to figure out what the hell I just watched.
Yeah, there's a lot of movies like that. There's one called like Into the Earth or something like that, where people like literally like become plants, and it's wild. It's weird, but you'll love Annihilation. I don't know.
Saltburn is definitely a mindfuck movie too.
What is it?
Saltburn.
Oh, dude,
Barry Keoghan.
Saltburn
is
never watched that.
Why? No.
Get traumatized with us. Get traumatized.
No. You should watch it. And here's the only reason why you should watch it. Because after you watch it, by the end of it, you'd be like, Barry Keoghan can do Joker. He can. Like,
Okay.
like literally, that is my pitch for people to watch it is just to realize after watching Barry Keoghan in this movie, I have zero doubts he could pull off a good Joker, and it's every bit of what his character and his acting portrayed in this movie. It's worth watching just for that.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Like I heard about the bathtub scene, and I was like,
Yeah, no, there's a lot. There's a lot of
What?
There's a lot of WTF moments in this movie, but I promise you, just for the reason I just said it, like you need to watch it because you will have zero doubts he could probably pull off a good Joker we've never seen before.
Yeah, Barry was acting a fucking fool in this movie. Oh, God.
Yeah.
So the last thing kind of like on our like educated wish news or educated wish entertainment, sorry, is the Salem's Lot. So this is based off of a Stephen King book. So it's a novel that became a book. So originally it was supposed to come out in theaters. It's a movie. It's supposed to come out in theaters on September 9th of 2022. But then it got pushed to April 21st, 2023. And then they pushed it again. And now they're just like, it's going straight to streaming. Like,
oh, really? Wow.
We're done. So it's coming to Max in October.
Sounds like some Sony moves.
Yeah.
Well, Stephen King actually himself has seen some of the footage and said that it's actually pretty good. I'm interested because I love like reading Stephen King. Like I'm literally reading one right now. It's my first one ever, but like watching his adaptations, like I've loved everything that I've seen of his. Gerald's Game. It's great stuff.
Yeah.
So
he makes really good books. Like Salem's Lot is a great book. The It books are incredible, of course, and they really good adaptations of them too. I would say another good book from Stephen King may be. I'll have to get back to y'all on that, but he got nothing but bangers in both books and movie adaptations. So.
I've never read any of the books, but growing up, Stephen King was kind of a name in the house. So my mom was a big fan of a lot of his movies, and so I've grown up watching Stephen King movies like most of my life, and like I've enjoyed almost every single one of them. So
yeah, he's top 5 authors for me. Yeah, he's definitely top 5 authors. And the movie is called Pet Cemetery. So the book and the movie Pet Cemetery.
Dude, that's a fucked up movie as well.
So that is actually a movie I've not seen of his.
Whew.
Yeah, are y'all talking about the original or the remake?
The original.
Okay.
Oh, I'm talking about, I guess, the remake. I didn't know there was an original.
Yeah, the
remake's
pretty messed up.
It came back the 80s, early 90s, I think, and then the remake came out probably like within the past 6 to 8 years, I think.
Yeah. It had to have been like 10 years or less, and that was a damn good take on it too. So I wasn't mad at it. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So you guys want to talk some Alien?
Let's talk some Alien Romulus. Oh my God. There we are. So beautiful. Such a beautiful movie.
I told you guys we're gonna like it.
Like I have to say, like I will say, this is out of the whole Alien franchise, this is my favorite movie. Like so good, and just to kind of like catch me up to speed, like I've watched all the Alien stuff except for Covenant, which I didn't realize. So like in the past 4 days, I've watched the whole entire franchise again, and man, Covenant is. I would have, if I had to give like top 3 out of the franchise, I would say like Romulus number 1, Covenant number 2, and Alien 1 number 3. And like I enjoyed it. Only reason, so I'm a sucker for, like, I love nostalgia and stuff like that, and that's why I would put Alien as number 3, just because it's the original. It set the tone. It paved the way for all these other great film telling. But then like how much deeper into the stories we get with Covenant and then Romulus is. It's hard to put those behind the first one, because there's so much more. There's so much more details and things we didn't know And yeah, it was phenomenal. And like it was a perfect blend. Like this ain't just a sci-fi movie. Like this was a perfect blend of horror and sci-fi together. Like there was moments where I didn't I don't jump scare very easy at all, and I didn't in this movie. But there was moments where I'm like, oh shit, like wow, like oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
It's I loved it. And I couldn't wait for you guys to watch it so we could actually talk about it. But
Right.
dude, like it was great. I had like icky uh moments in it. I had a lot of what the fuck moments. I came out of the movie
Yeah.
theater and I was like, I might have nightmares tonight.
Oh
um
man.
Some pretty
and
grotesque things.
yeah, and I don't know if you guys saw, but the director actually was already talking about wanting a sequel. And like in the movie, you got to see the ship itself was divided into two parts. So half of it was Romulus, and the other half was
Right.
Remus. So I was like, what if that is the sequel? Is the second half of the ship?
That would make sense. And I'm
Yeah.
here for it. I'm all about it. So
And this one can be more of a backstory movie instead of like a present day alien movie where the group of kids were breaking into Romulus to see if they can steal some goods. Instead of doing that for the sequel, you can grab like the people who ran the space shuttle and started doing the experiments on the xenomorphs and see
Yeah.
what happened to them and why they all got wiped out. That would be a great sequel movie.
for sure. And here's another thing. Like, I want to see one more movie take place between Covenant and Alien One. Like we need more. And like in a lot of these Alien movies, we get where we have one survivor, and half of these half of them we get the idea of what happened to them roughly, like on down the road, like in Covenant, we know that ship landed there from Prometheus or whatever 10 years later or 10 years ago. So we kind of get that, but there's a couple of I think there's a couple of like unfinished leads or where some of these survivors go off that I would really love to see like what happened to them. And like really they could probably keep doing this franchise for another 30 years. And because I mean there's so many unfinished leads or we start with not knowing 100% of the story of how we got there. But I definitely I'm definitely down for a sequel for Romulus, but I definitely want one more sequel for Covenant.
Yeah.
Well, like as you guys also heard, because we were talking about it in the chat, there's something called Alien Earth that's supposed to be coming out in 2025. Right. So it kind of like dropped at like a kind of like teaser type like trailer at the beginning of Alien Romulus, only in like AMC theaters. But it like looked super dope. You got to see a xenomorph, and he had like the Earth.
The glare, the reflection.
Yeah, on his like helmet skull thing. And then he kind of like leans up, and then he does like a little thing.
It just drools.
Yeah, it's only like 10 seconds, but it's chilling. Super great. It's supposed to be coming from FX, so that's coming out next year. And I'm excited to see kind of like what they do with that, because it's supposed to be even before Prometheus. It's supposed to be, I think, a year before Prometheus.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So this is supposed to come in 2092, I think, and then Prometheus was 2093. And then
now is that going to be? Now is that going to be just done by FX or in streaming on Hulu, or is Hulu and FX kind of doing this project together?
I don't know.
Reason why I ask is because like we get that Predator series called Prey done by Hulu, or was that FX?
No, it was on
Hulu original. Yeah.
Right. Well, I know there's a lot of streaming of FX on Hulu, but like, yeah, it is Hulu original. But like, cause I felt like that was really good. I really enjoyed that, and so like I seen the Hulu logo on that, and I got excited. But
the Hulu and Disney Plus,
but I didn't think about that's probably just a streaming service. It's not by them; it's by FX. So, but it would be kind of cool if Hulu like teamed up with them somehow, because like they did really, really well in that Prey series.
Yeah, they did. They have a really good partnership going, like how Max has a partnership with like CNN and DC Studios. Hulu is in bed with like Disney Plus. They're in bed with FX and like a couple other big companies. They make good products together.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We got some news also about the release date itself. We know it's supposed to come in 2025. And like the director himself, his last name's Howley. He had said on August 18th that the filming had been wrapped up. So production is very much still on schedule. So that's
Nice.
good news.
For sure.
And then the plot itself is that it's about like the Wayland Corporation, and like making plans to develop the synthetic humans that we see, David and so forth, throughout the Alien series. So like there's actual talks that we might not actually get some aliens in this themselves, because it might just be about that whole production and like how the Wayland Corporation became the Wayland Corporation. And yeah, so the aliens themselves might be taking a backseat on this prequel series.
Dangerous idea. Very dangerous idea.
Risky, but they can still make if they do it right. It can still be very well. I mean,
at least give us some Easter eggs or some callbacks to like older alien properties.
And 100%. I think that they will. Like, it'll be the developing of the ships or whatever, and it'll have those Easter eggs of nostalgia, because that's what brings the people in.
You gotta have that, because you're not going to give us one of the most iconic monsters in all of horror movie history. You are going to get shot in the foot.
Well, plus, I mean, their teaser right now is the aliens, so like you have to have something in there,
right?
And I don't know if that's going to be like towards the end of the series. Is that like the aliens, xenomorphs themselves, are like trying to get onto Earth, and that's why they have the reflection of Earth, and they're like getting smarter, and that's how we get to where we are now. Don't know.
Yeah. So that's pretty wild. It's something I didn't expect, but at the same time, like visually, I appreciated it. Was when she actually birthed that alien in Romulus. Like, for one, that was pretty nasty and wild. But when it grew and got big, like it was a perfect collaboration of alien, like the xenomorphs that we're used to seeing, the classic ones, mixed with the giant humanoid creatures that we supposedly came from. Yeah, from Prometheus. And like seeing a collaboration of that's something like I would say that surprised me that I didn't expect to see. But I was like, this is cool. This is really cool. And it was so wicked looking. Like,
and that was the age-old question that everybody has had, is that like, what if like someone actually birthed one? Like, would it be a human morph? AD actually, like, after we watched it, he called it a zuckomorph because it kind of
I didn't think about that, but it really kind of does.
Yeah, it's really creepy how like his face looks. Like, spoiler, obviously, but like,
and this is where Facebook began.
Yeah, this is how Mark was born.
Things on his back. It was just, it was so gross.
It was nightmare fuel.
But it still had
for
the
days.
acid, blood, and everything, and I was like, oh.
One thing I would have to say that I thought was really so, like, you really seen the creativity in this movie alone really just burst everywhere. Like the writers of this was amazing. Like when you actually see her turn on the gravity and then shoot up all those aliens, and then they have to try to go through the acid floating in air and not get hit. Like who thinks of that? But that was so amazing. Like, I love that scene. I'm like, this is good. This is really good. And then, to kind of pulls herself back, with shooting that gun to miss that acid there at the very end. Like, I don't know. So much about this was visually appealing, along with great screenwriting. But then also you could tell they really took their time with the cinematography and giving you that late 70s, early 80s feel of how they actually did the original Alien, because you could tell, or at least it looked like it to me, a lot of these things were like the models and not so much CGI like they did back in the 80s, because they didn't have it, where it was like models, and they played with the filming and the lighting on these models and stuff. And it really worked. I mean, they really nailed that early 80s, late 70s cinematography, I felt like. And I felt like it was a great blend of a newer movie to take place in between Alien 1 and 2, and it still not feel like it was completely different, or like, oh, we're just, like Star Wars, right? So like Star Wars episode 4 through 6, like that's kind of actually the same cinematography. But then, you go to episode, 9, and like you don't really get that same feeling because it's just advanced technology and whatever. But like this really nailed giving you that same visual feeling and vibe, and really help, I feel like, tie it in and make it feel like it was definitely a part of in between these older movies. Between I think what 78, 79 was the first Alien movie, and I think 82 was the second one. But they nailed it. I hands down, I felt like this was great. I enjoyed every minute of it.
It's a straight classic movie. This is like easily top 5 horror films of 2024, and maybe even top 5 films in general for this year. I honestly, I didn't think the director would pull it off, but that's just because seeing like reboots make me skeptical over the years. But Fede Alvarez, I gotta take my hat off to him. That was some of the best directing I've seen in a long time. Like,
yeah.
I just walked out the theater for Deadpool and Wolverine just like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I'm like, yeah, that's a damn good movie, but Alien Romulus is a damn good movie.
Oh yeah. And who's the main actress? What's her name for this? Do you know?
Sophie Cali.
Yeah, whoever the main actress is that played this, like I'm gonna be honest with you, Sigourney Weaver, she came for you because like I love Sigourney Weaver. I mean, throughout the decades, her acting and her great roles she's done, and she's known for she is the alien actress.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, like this girl brought it. Like she brought it. It is great.
Sophie killed that shit, man. She was such a damn good character. Like her name was in the movie Rain Carradine. So I'm like, damn, you already took an awesome last name.
Yeah.
And she's just like a battle strategist. And there's so many things that we didn't know about her. So we just follow along throughout the movie to learn more things about her.
Yeah.
And it's just like, she's such a down to earth, humble person. She loves her brother, which is not even a human. He's a synth. And treats him like he's a human, loves him, willing to do whatever it takes to defend him and never leave him behind. And it's just like, how do you not like a character like her?
Well, that's the other thing. Like, Michael Fassbender, huge fan of him, and like his portrayal of Walter and David as this synthetic android was phenomenal and great, especially in Covenant when it was 2 of them. But man, I'm not gonna lie. I actually think the guy that played the synthetic android in this one is probably my favorite, like even above Michael Fassbender. Because like when he played, he's the same Sin, but then he swapped out that deal and he completely just flipped like a switch on his acting. And like his acting in this, like his facial movements, the way he moved his hands and stuff as he's portraying these 2 different programs or whatever. Like, man, his acting was spot on. Like it was great. Like I want to see this guy.
Voice,
yes, his demeanor, his voice.
Yeah.
I mean, everything. Like he nailed it. And like I want to see this guy in some more stuff. Like,
please,
he's great.
Yeah, they were on a mission.
When he was like her brother, like he was like all like glitchy because he was like a knockoff version, right? And then he put in that new disc, and then he's just like, I have a new objective now. And I was just like,
oh! and it even said like the things that were damaged inside of him with that new chip in him, it was in the moment was, repairing the things that was damaged with him. And so like he all straightened up, and he quit his twitching and his little, I'm a little
mannerisms, yeah.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, he was so useful. He was such a useful character. But it's just like you didn't see it coming when the doors were trying to shut. You just like, no, I'm going to stop it with my bare hand. And it's like, oh my god.
Oh well, when that girl was on the other side of the door, and they're like, let her in, she's pregnant, and he's like, nah, and like they're begging for him, and then like you think maybe they're going to figure out a way to do it, and then nope, straight grabs her and gets her. I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah,
like
he
wow.
told him to the face, like as soon as he opened that door, that fucker's gonna get all of them in one swing. So it's just like don't.
It's such an epic scene too, like when the
Yeah.
gravity changes and they're in the elevator shaft, and he decides just to jump down, and he's like just shooting that alien at the bottom and riding it down to the top of that elevator to save her. I'm like, man, it's such an iconic scene right there.
So badass.
And then he said the thing.
Yeah,
He did. He did. Bitch.
Yeah. Oh man,
Get away from her, you bitch.
Yeah. And I like how like he like struggled to get it out. Like you could tell it wasn't very natural for him. And like, oh my god, yeah. Yeah, I like that's the big line for Alien is bitch. You know, and then you got Predator where you are one ugly mother.
It's so good, man. This movie it's crack. I want to see it again. I don't know if I'll do it in theaters, but as soon as it hits streaming, I'm gonna watch it at least once a week.
Well, also the guy that did this one, didn't he say like he also wants to do a third film for Alien versus Predator? I think.
I don't know. I didn't read that.
I think I read a thing today where he says he's interested in also doing an Alien versus Predator film, which I think we've had 2. So he's like I would like to do the third installment, and he's got ideas for it already. He said as well, and like I'm a big Predator fan, huge. Like I prefer Predator over Alien, but I love both of them. Oh yeah. But I can't help it. I can't help it.
Your cool points just like knocked down, man.
But man, after seeing this guy, do this Romulus, I definitely want to see the same guy create and do a Predator versus Alien installment. Like, oh my god, it would be so good. I can tell you right now, without a doubt, like he would do it well, do it justice.
Yeah, he would.
And to the fact that you would actually see things because it wouldn't be too dark.
Right. And it gives me another reason to go ahead and go back through and rewatch all the Predators too.
Right?
Yeah.
You can't miss. Like I'm a horror fan. I'm always gonna watch a good monster movie. Predators definitely up in my top 5 monsters of all time. Xenomorphs up there too, but I think it's a 2-way tie between them. But when you're in a movie with a xenomorph, your survival chances is like next to dick. You're lucky if 2 people make it in this damn movie. Xenomorphs are so nasty and violent. It's just
so nasty.
God.
And what's crazy is like I love how creative they've been throughout the franchise too, and we've got to see so many what's called variants of variation evolution actually of these different aliens and like different ways they could be birthed, different characters of them. I mean, all the way down to like the black mist, and that's in the liquid, to the face huggers, to it's just wild, and I love the creativity of the different versions of the aliens. And like they've not been
off her face and the like. It was in her throat. I was like,
yeah, that was pretty nasty. I'm not gonna lie, that's probably the nastiest version of seeing that face hugger ever.
Yeah.
But what I like too is like how we get the wide variation of how these aliens in these evolution, these aliens can be created, but like it's not so wild. Like they keep it tied in where it makes sense, where you're not like questioning, well, why is this one like that, and that don't make sense. Like they literally explain it all. And honestly, between this one and Covenant, really helps explain a lot of it, and really ties in a lot of that storytelling together and questions maybe people had. So yeah.
The special effects,
I'm ready to see it again.
There was so many xenomorphs that were just like fucking running around, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah. Well, like I think this movie showed us the largest amount of xenomorphs at one time running towards them, and we also have seen the largest amount of facehuggers at one time chasing people. Like they gave us so much in this movie that we've never seen in any of the other movies prior to this.
Yeah. I absolutely love that about them. I think the last thing I'll say about this, I know we got a little time constraint. I will be doing a more in-depth review on this movie, but oh my god, man, I really appreciate what Feedy did with his vision for the movie. I'm really hoping to see. I guess I like to see more synth action. So Alien Earth is something I look forward to as well. But I also want to take my hat off to the way that he handled these characters in general. The whole cast did amazing. You had Isabella Merced. She's from Madam Web. She's going to be our hot girl in the DC universe, and she was the pregnant girl. And then you had two dudes that I'm not familiar with, and one of them played a character that me and Blake hated, and it was just like he needs to die first.
Oh yeah, literally we said that, like the guy that was giving the Sin the hard time. Yeah, literally I leaned over to Deontay after like so many lunges, like I'm ready for this guy to die.
He's gotta go. He's gotta fucking go. He was one of the last to die, so we did get our satisfaction out of this. But other than that, these actors sold their roles in these characters. If I were in their shoes, I wouldn't have. When it comes to flight or fight, I have no flight. I would have seen that shit and I would have been like, all right, you got me. I'm not gonna run from this shit. Eat me now. Right. I can't do. They went so far out of their way to escape this shit, and I'm just like, I would have gave up after the first try. Like, don't chase me. I'll surrender right now.
Goodness, yeah, it's great, phenomenal. I'm ready. I may go watch it one more time for theater, at least theaters for real. And like, I don't think I've done that outside of anything that's been Marvel, but like, I think I may. Like, it is great.
It's worth every penny, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, it really is. Really is. So y'all ready to get into some gaming news?
Let's do it.
All right. So there was a couple of things that we're going to talk about real quick for geeking about gaming. The first one is something that we just recently had come out. There's like a couple of gameplay trailers that we got to see, and it's Kong Survivor Instinct. So the trailer dropped yesterday. It's from Legendary that worked with a new gaming developer called 7 Levels. They're not really new, but like they haven't really had a lot of things come out, but it kind of looks like a puzzle third person like game. It's going to be taking event like right after the Godzilla versus Kong movie itself, and we get to see a Titan in it called Abden. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's a giant spider.
That's pretty wicked looking.
It's creepy looking. You see like the character in that gameplay, like kind of like dodging its legs because it's like with its legs. So the whole plot of this is the main guy that you got to see right there. He's on a quest to find his daughter, and his daughter's name is like Stacy. It's supposed to come out in the fall of 2024. So it's supposed to come out first for PC and PlayStation. And actually Xbox. This is all actually coming out together as one. So we got to see that footage. Super dope looking.
I'd play it.
It looks great. And I love like puzzle games, and he kind of has to like shoot things or climb on things to get to like the next area. So I'm all for that. And the next thing came out today, and it's called Black Myth. I'm not going to try to pronounce that last word because Wukong. Thank you. Mm-hmm. So this actually came out today. So some people have already been playing it on Twitch, and you can see some gameplay as well on like YouTube. But the trailer itself looks amazing. And it's from Game Science. They don't have anything. They're actually Chinese-based game developer. And the interesting thing about this is that it's actually inspired by a Chinese novel. It's called Journey to the West. So it got a 10 out of 10 already on stream. It's an action RPG. And this is also going to be single player as well as Kong. So no like online play for these. It's just going to be you playing it yourself. So this came out on PC and PS5, and it's actually going to have an Xbox like release date later on. Not really sure about like when that is, but it's not right now.
I like a good storytelling game, like where you just play out story. You don't have to worry about one-line stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's what I love about like the Spider-Man. I like Spider-Man games and stuff like that. I love just like a good story.
Yeah. Yeah. And this looks beautiful. Like it looks like a very well done game. And I've only seen like good things about it on YouTube while I was like searching around for like trailers and such. But the last thing that we're going to talk about for gaming is actually an online multiplayer game. It's called Concord. So this is going to come out in 3 days, so August 23rd. It's a vibrant, sci-fi type game. It's going to come out on PS5 and PC. So it's going to be 10 players online, kind of like a 5v5 Overwatch type feel is what it looks like. A first-person shooter, and Firewalk is the game developer. And they actually worked with Bungie on Destiny. So I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. But they came out with like a limited edition controller. Yep. So a lot of people are saying some backlash about this because it looks like Sony has been putting in a lot of time and effort into this game, and everyone thinks it's going to be kind of a dud, just because the amount of first-person shooters out there, Call of Duty, Destiny, you got Overwatch, you got Apex. I mean, like, you got so many of them. Mm-hmm. So, like, really, like, what more are you going to really do with this? So we'll see. Comes out in 3 days.
I actually kind of like the artwork on that controller. I'm not going to lie.
No, the controller itself looks beautiful, but the characters themselves, like, people have been, like, bashing them online, saying they were the ugliest characters they had ever seen.
The internet is always hating. Always hating.
Always. Yes. Definitely can't please everybody.
Yeah. So Concord is going to be $40, whereas like the Black Myth is $60 right now. So yeah, that's your gaming news.
Nice. Yeah, good variety this week.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess gives us to our last spot of the night, this con spotlight. Deontay, you ready to start that up?
Yeah. Alrighty, this week we are talking about Dragon Con. So this debuted to the world in 1987, and this year's event will be taking place on Thursday, August 29th, all the way up till Monday, September 2nd. So guys, and if you're in the local Atlanta, Georgia area, they have the website, and the tickets still on sale up until, I guess, show day. And you can go to 265 Street, Center Avenue, Northeast. And of course, the zip code for the area would be 30303. So you guys put that in your GPS and you want to get your travel on, you'll be able to pull up, meet some celebrities, do a little cosplay competition going on, and of course, after parties. So without further ado, I'm going to let you guys know what some of the guests are. We have roughly somewhere between 30 to 40 special guests.
My God.
It's a lot.
It's a big con.
It's huge, man. They got like, I want to say at least somewhere between 10 to 20 of these guests are all Star Trek actors and actresses.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I think one of the major themes for this year might be Star Trek. They have about 8 huge Marvel live action actors, and then a couple miscellaneous ones as well. So for the Marvel side of the house, the first guest that they have lined up is Giancarlo Esposito. So you guys might have known him from The Boys, Mandalorian as Moff Gideon. Now he's Sidewinder in Captain America 4. Giancarlo Esposito is going to be one of the major guests that's coming for an interview on a panel.
Yeah, the way that he talks, it literally sounds like he could start a cult. Like he is very engaging, very just wants everybody to like be in it.
When I got his autograph, got pictures with him at Fan Expo Chicago last year, and I went to his panel, and I tell you what, like I was so impressed with his panel. Like I filmed I got so many clips of him talking. You talking about an energetic, motivating man. Like this man, he just loves life, and he wants you to love life as much as him. And like he's just so motivational. Like I mean, that man would get up and pace the stage when he had 2 other guests with him, and he would just start yelling and talking with his hands, and like I could literally sit and listen to that guy probably talk for 2 hours and walk out a better person. Like
he needs a podcast.
Yeah, I said he could start a cult because the way that he acts and like his energy.
Yes.
It's very.
I love that guy.
Yeah.
For real.
He's on stage with like the actors who played the armor in Bo-Katan Kryze, and he's like overshadowing them a little bit with his performance. It's like, damn, dude.
Yes.
You're gonna recognize his presence. The next guest for Marvel is going to be Ross Marquand, of course, ladies and gentlemen. He is known for Immortal and Invincible. X-Men 97 is our current. I think it's our current Professor X.
Yeah, our current Professor X, yep.
And he's also Red Skull in the Avengers Infinity War movie.
Yep, and Endgame. And also he plays the voice of Red Skull and Infinity Ultron and What If.
Dude, Ross Marquand's resume is ridiculous.
It is.
It is, dude. He's such a great guy in person, too. So it's going to be sad that I had to miss out on getting another picture with him and just chilling and talking to him.
For sure. Oh, he also plays Aaron in The Walking Dead, which was a pretty big character. So,
God, dude. They had him listed under the Marvel section, or at least he was grouped up with the Marvel live action actors. But there's so many things you could talk to him about at the panel. So go and get that Q&A done. I promise you, great guy.
For sure.
The next up on our list, we have Nathan Fillion. Nathan Fillion is very well known for a lot of voice acting roles as well, but you can see him in the Marvel movies now as like one of the Deadpools and Deadpool Wolverine movie. He played some kind of agent character from the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 movie that came out. And
well, they're on that white thing with and they're wearing their suits. Yep.
Yeah, I cannot remember that character's name for the life of me and like what their job was, but Nathan Fillion played like the head chief commander of that group, and he's also going to be Guy Gardner for James Gunn's DC verse. So,
you can see him in Superman.
Next up on the list, we have Chloe Bennett. So if you guys are a huge Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fan, that is our Quake. And Chloe Bennett is a great actress, and we should see her in more live action superhero anything. So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then number 5 is Mike Coulter. That is Luke Cage from the Netflix series.
Heck yeah.
Phenomenal Cage. I don't want nobody else to be Luke Cage but him, but
yeah, definitely hope he reprises his role in the MCU. I hope.
Please, man, if you're going to give us Jessica Jones and John Bernthal's Frank Castle, give us him too.
You can't. I feel like you have to, especially if you're giving us Jessica Jones.
Oh man, Kristen Ritter's coming back, so come on, Mike. Also from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., our number 8 guest is going to be Colby Smulders.
I love her.
Yeah.
Maria Hill.
We had to watch her die in Secret Invasion.
Oh, my God.
Whew, such a bad idea.
She did not deserve that.
Not at all. Another guest we have from the Marvel side of the house, number 7 is Vincent D'Onofrio, Kingpin himself, ladies and gentlemen. So get ready to meet Wilson Fisk. Our final guest on the Marvel side, I cannot remember some of her roles, but Ming-Na Wen. If you don't know who she is, she's definitely from Boba Fett as what is her name?
Fennec Shan.
Fennec Shan.
Yeah.
So she's his right hand, and she is a total badass, and she's got a lot of huge roles in both Star Wars and Marvel and DC movies too. So be on the lookout for Ming-Na Wen at this convention. I'm going to run down the list of miscellaneous people. Elijah Wood for all the Lord of the Rings fans. So get ready to meet him.
Yeah, there are 3 hobbits there this year.
3 hobbits. Dude, this is crazy. Like, this lineup is insane. Like I hadn't even made it to the voice actors yet, and there's only like 4 major ones from the anime world.
Yeah, you got Merry, Pippin, and Frodo, so all 3 of them are going to be there. Super dope.
They have like I haven't written down any names for the Star Trek guests, but there's, like I was saying earlier, there's almost like somewhere between 10 to 20 of them. It was hard to keep track.
That's
there's
wild.
Like,
jeez.
Yeah, it's like Star Wars: The Next Generation, Star Trek: Next Generation, Star Trek Picard, and then all these different spinoffs that's been running. Goodness. So you'll meet the cast of damn near all of them shows. But as far as the rest of my miscellaneous goes, you got Patrick Warburton, Joe from Family Guy, Patrick Starr, Kronk, and a couple more iconic characters. Seth Green, Chris Griffin, executive producer Robot Chicken, for everybody that grew up with the Adult Swim generation. And then we have from the Avatar live action Netflix series that just recently came out, Avatar Aang himself, Gordon Cormier, and then the guy with the red burn mark on his face. He's played by Dallas Liu. That's who the special guest is, but he's Uncle Iroh's nephew. He's always following him around. His actor is coming. Nice. And then our last 3 will be Danny Trejo. So
heck yes.
Machete himself is going to show up.
I still need to eat at Trejo's Tacos one day. He's got a taco joint that I want to try out.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's bucket list.
I'm not sure if that's the name of it. I could be wrong. It may be the name of it, but I know he's got a taco joint that I want to try out one day.
I'm definitely writing that down. So
I want to meet. I also want to meet the man. It'd be cool to meet him at his own taco joint.
Oh man, that'd be like my profile picture for like the next 30 years.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. Besides Danny Trejo, we got Jared Padalecki, if I'm saying it right.
Yeah.
From the Supernatural world with Jensen Ackles. And then you have Natasha Borghizo, who played Ahsoka's apprentice in the Ahsoka series.
Sabine.
Yes, Sabine Wren. Yeah. So she'll be here. And then that is it for the miscellaneous. And then last but not least, we got some 4 voice actors from the English dub anime world. We have Elizabeth Maxwell, who plays Midnight from My Hero Academia.
Okay.
Jason Liebrecht, he played like a huge list of them. I wish I had like his resume on hand, but he has like Zeke Yeager, which is Eren Yeager's brother from Attack on Titan. Some other huge roles, but he's coming. Abby Trott, who is playing Nezuko in Demon Slayer. So she is the English dub voice actress for Nezuko. And then you have Zach Aguilar, who is the English dub voice actor for Tanjiro from Demon Slayer.
Nice.
So huge lineup. You guys want to get your tickets, DragonCon.org.
And that was just a fraction of them.
Yeah. Because you can even name off like John Cleese is going to be there, Fred and George from Harry Potter, Pyro from X-Men, and now Deadpool, Wolverine, and Catherine Tate, who's Doctor Who and also The Office. So
I wish we could make this one.
For real.
I hate that we're going to miss this one. DragonCon's been on my to-do list for a while now.
I'm hoping like an armored truck would like break outside of my house and all the money just goes flying everywhere, so I can just run outside, take that shit, and then just grab y'all and we like, yo, we're going to Atlanta right the fuck now.
Well, if that happens, let me know because I'm down.
we are going to ball out of control. And go to Atlanta. I got to go to this convention next year. So
for sure.
That's all I got, man. It's a very stacked lineup of, again, Thursday, August 29th, all the way up to Monday, September 2nd. You don't want to miss it. Get your cosplay ready and take your ass on to DragonCon.
Definitely sounds like a great time, for real.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
of that being said and done, since we're at the end, Deontay, you have anything on Saturday Night Nerds coming up that you want to announce in Jacob's film perspective?
Yes, sir. We got a brand new episode this Saturday. It's episode 12, and it'll be another 3 group of horror movies. So we're doing M. Night Shyamalan's Trap. We're doing Cuckoo, which is a Neon project. And then you have, of course, Alien Romulus, where we go very in-depth about our reactions to it. So we have a special guest, which is supposedly a very somewhat famous Twitch streamer is going to be on Jacob's show with him.
Okay.
And I'll also help him host it as well. So he won't reveal it yet. So I'll wait till he does it and then update you guys on who the special guest is. But yeah,
Nice.
Saturday, 6:30 p.m. Central. Be there, be square.
Heck yeah, I'll look forward to watching it for real.
Trying to make it square. It's not happening.
All right.
Nope,
well,
you can't do it.
I think you almost did it. You almost. That's just rectangle. Dang.
Yep. Nope. It's not good.
I feel like you're trying to do a wrestling move now or something like.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's this week for Fundamentals. We'll catch y'all later.